Welcome back, all you disc golf weirdos, to Double Shot Disc Golf News, your favorite pro's favorite show. This week, a DGLO recap, the much-anticipated return of multiple-time disc golfer, and a check-in on the attractiveness of Estonian men. All this and more only on Double Shot. Let's get into it. In the opening round at DGLO, friends of the program, Alden, Isaac, and Ezra, all shot well below their rating. Sorry fellas, we gotta report the ups and the downs on this show. Also struggling in round 1 was reluctant acquaintance of the program, Anthony Barella. Speaking of Alden, he DNF'd after managing to get rear-ended while parked on the side of the road. Witnesses came forward with different stories, so it's hard to say what really happened. Anyway, sorry Alden, it's especially sad knowing how much you love this course. On lead card in round 1, the clunkily named McBurtle continued after Idlewild. Gannon hit the shot of the day with a forehand putt that he lined up for approximately 1/20th as long as normal, but overall he looked more like Gannon Bogue than Gannon Burr, while Paul took a 6-stroke lead over Gannon with only 3 rounds to play. Can he hold on? In round 2, Paul faltered, allowing Calvin to pass him up while Gannon quietly crept up the leaderboard from 4th card, turning this into a classic McHeimbertle. Also in round 2, Una Heinonen channeled his inner Gannon and threw in the shot of his life. Next up, Calvin nonchalantly birdied from deeper in the same bush. You know what they say, a forehand in the bush is worth 2 birdies in the basket. A forehand in the bush is worth the birdie in the basket. A forehand in the bush is worth the bird in the hand. A forehand in the bush is worth the lifetime of bush trauma. In round 3, Calvin started to run away with it, but he stumbled. Then he started running away from the field again, and stumbled again. Gannon kept gaining on Calvin, while Paul enjoyed parts of the course most players have never seen. Also in round 3, Ricky shot 12 under by carding only 3s. Wow, look at all those 3s. A good round to commemorate the 3,000 days it's been since Ricky's last major win. Okay, that's kind of mean. Sorry, Ricky. By the final day, the battle expanded to a McBurr-Tilasaki-Benheimberger battle. Paul bowed out early, probably because he didn't want to do the full podcast circuit again. At least we'll always have Idlewild. Meanwhile, his chase cardmate Hebenheimer started off hot and held at least a share of the lead for most of the day. Back on lead card, Ricky and Gannon finally chased down Calvin. Nicholas struggled, but he did almost get the coolest ace ever.
Miss those branches. Get through low. Yep. Oh my.
Whoa. Whoa! Whoa, that is good. Okay. Okay, back to the battle. Hebenheimer ran into trouble on hole 16, basically ending his chances to win.
It gets through.
Back on hole 14, Ricky threw his tee shot out of bounds and failed to get up and down for par, while Gannon elected for a more traditional play. Yank it over the OB on the right, trust the fans to move out of the way, bounce it off a crouching kid, and back in bounds. A stress-free play for the birdie, which gave him a 1-stroke lead heading into the final 4 holes. After a push on hole 15, Gannon took a world champ line on 16, throwing his drive directly through the tree to about 25 feet. Ricky, meanwhile, boringly and lamely pured the gap to take the same score. On 17, Gannon left his upshot short and missed, leaving Ricky this putt to tie him. After Ricky turfed his upshot on 18, Gannon played for par to take the win. Although he did win, sadly, Gannon missed out on his main goal of shooting 1067 rated for the event. Tragic. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Gannon. I guess Paul's record for highest rating is safe for another month at least. Woo! Poor Gannon. Sad. Over in FPO, we were treated to a Gandley battle. Anyway, Missy won. And that's our FPO recap. And now, I'm happy to welcome back to the show, multiple-time disc golfer, MT.
Thanks, Enjoyer. I am beyond excited to be back on air. Let's go to a new segment called The Broadcast Brief. This weekend, Big Germ worked double duty, doing live commentary on DGN in addition to his normal post-produced content. So all Jomez viewers were treated to a special edition of Big Germ Pretends to Not Have Seen These Shots Before.
Don't.
Okay, gets through. Don't
do that.
What's the ruling? Oh my gosh, he's out by an inch and a half. Huge decision. Is he going to run it?
convincing. During the live broadcast, Big Germ made good use of his new platform, calling out the perpetrator of a crime against himself.
This is funny right now. Jake being on coverage is outing him that he's the one that stole my towel that I'm seeing on top of his bag. I've been looking for that thing.
Later, he gave us all some insight into Hebenheimer behind the scenes.
He's the only person I've ever known that caught a snake and then lost the snake in his own car.
On his first tournament at his new job in the booth, Big Germ wasted absolutely no time getting in his entry for Commentator Jinx of the Year.
I've never seen anyone actually land in this OB area right here. Macbeth throwing 2. Terry, can you fill us in on that Macbeth seconds? Did you commentator Jinx?
Tough to watch. In fact, his Jinx was so strong that the aftershocks rippled into the next day's round.
Left cross, but maybe even a little bit behind him. He's going to put this one up. He's going to need more carry. This is coming in short, and Macbeth is not going to clear. He'll go to the short side just as he did yesterday. Huge mistake again on 3 for Macbeth.
Wow. Thanks for your submission to the Commentator Jinx of the Year contest, Germ. Also on the broadcast was Terry Miller. Let's throw it to Terry.
There's my man Terry Miller. Hope he's grabbing a Marweed card out of the pack.
Well, guys, I've been working on the Santa suit and physique for years here.
Okay. Hey, while we have you here, Terry, can you talk to Silva Sarnan to maybe get some insight into what everything means?
What do those experiences mean? The pressure and then coming out ahead. What does that mean for you?
I don't know. What does it mean to me?
What does that mean to you to win the Finnish national championship? Possibly being player of the year, or what that would mean, or do you care?
Not really.
Okay. Thanks for getting to the bottom of that. Also in the broadcast this week, Bigfoot was back?
Whoa. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Interesting. Sponsoring the broadcast this week was Sugar. Sugar, it's what's for dinner. Let's take a look.
That was crushed. I wouldn't mind crushing some of this candy, Sarah.
Oh.
Oh. Wow. That was really good.
Let's go for it.
Ooh.
I think I prefer.
Whoa.
I'm gonna have more of those.
But these are good.
And this is quite sour too.
Cool. And it looks like the sponsorship deal was quite lucrative.
Feather chocolate yet? Oh, jeez, that is inappropriate.
Okay, settle down there, Ian.
It's just too waffle.
Okay. And that's it for today's installment of the Broadcast Brief. I guess there's nothing left for me to do but pull a Kyle Klein and slide on out of here.
From where Eagle threw that.
Oh! we lost him!
Okay, thanks, MT. And now for a few tap-ins. Last week, Paul went on the Tour Life podcast and shared his thoughts on the future of disc golf majors.
Any major that's been in Europe, it just falls under the European majors. So I think that's kind of how it's going to end up being in the history books, if I had to guess.
Interesting. Bold of him to assume disc golfers will make history books. Comment down below if you personally know a disc golfer who can read. Over in the EuroLeague, Lauri Markkanen debuted the most anticlimactic yet coolest celebration the basketball world has ever seen. Very cool. And on Smashbox TV, Terry and John shared what they have gleaned from following disc golf internationally.
Weird, but
There's a lot of good-looking men in Estonia.
that's my problem. I looked at that and I went, Estonia?
Okay. Can't say that I have much input on that, but if I did, it would be... what? That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for spending your time watching us. Please like, subscribe, and tell your least favorite disc golfer to watch us too. By the final day, the battle expanded to a McBur-Tilasaki-Benheimberger battle. That is tough. Not exactly what I was going for, but you get the idea.
I'm strooping, baby.